When my husband first passed on, I resented the fact that at the age of 37, I had to raise 3 children, very young children on my own. All my dreams were gone. I had a good husband who was taken away. I had to worry about finances. I had to work, I had to take out. So all these things I resented when he first passed on. I was 37 when I was widowed. My husband passed of colon cancer. We had 3 children. At that time, they were 3, 6, and 9. It was a very difficult first 3 to 5 years of my life after he passed. I needed a lot of him and he wasn't around anymore and he left me with these 3 kids. So to me, parenting was it's a task, I just want to get it over and done with. I was making sure they were fed, they did their homework, things like that. So everything was, on a daily basis, looks kind of fine. But everybody was hurting inside. I can't even remember what small little fight I had with Natania, who was my number 2. But she was very rude in the way that she responded to me. I also came up with my favorite phrase and said, "You're not happy? You're not happy with mom? I'm raising you so hard already." And this is the words I always like to use. If you're not happy with anything, right, you can just get out of my house. And she left. She actually, in the middle of the night at about 11 p.m. plus, she actually took the key and she left. And then I said, "You took my key, right? So bring it home right now." So I walked back, and I was shocked that she actually threw the key into the drain. I think because I was so caught up with raising them in a certain way and being very hard on them and hard on them myself and being bitter about the whole situation, I don't think I have actually looked at the way they have grieved,
I think last time I always thought that my mom is just overreacting. All the time, like small thing then get scolded. So when I fight with her and she doesn't say sorry, then I feel that I also don't need to say sorry.
Ever since my father passed away, I've always put it onto myself that I have to be the second parent or another pillar of support for my siblings because I don't think my mom can do it alone. And it's even harder. So I try to ease my mom's burdens and difficulties. But in that sense, I've always bottled all my feelings to myself. I've grown up being very emotionally numb because I feel that whatever happens to me, it can't be as bad as my father passing.
There's many instances where I compare myself to my peers, to say, oh, they have a father I don't have. I took some self-pity. Yeah, I always cry to her. Yeah, she's a good consoler.
So as a solo parent, the biggest worry I had at that time was finances. I was very thankful that my husband was able to settle most of the finances. He didn't leave me any debts, and he made sure that we had enough for my children's education. Then my next worry was how do I raise the 3 of them on my own? They were also growing up. With the girls itself, I can understand the issues that they're going through. But for the boy, what do I do with the boy when he had to wear a tie? And then he couldn't tie a tie. And I don't know how to tie a tie myself, We had to go through a YouTube video of at least, about 2 hours just for him to learn how to tie a tie. And there were also his voice breaking when he was a teenager. At first I thought how come you keep having a sore throat? And I kept telling him, can you please clear your throat, And then I realized that, my goodness, my 13-year-old son was breaking his voice. I had this task of making sure that I would raise them properly, the way that my husband wanted to, the way that we had dreams of raising them up. That's why I became very hard on myself. Every single wrong I couldn't accept, whether it's for myself or for my children. So I feel that sometimes it suffocates them. It also suffocates myself. The pivotal point was when I was invited to see a pastor. She said the loved one was very, very close to you. And because you lost that loved one, you have become this person who is very hard on everybody else and on yourself, and especially your children. And know that I have been saying a lot of very hurtful words to my children that I think is nothing, but it doesn't allow love to happen in the family. So when I went home, it took me about 2 or 3 days, and I told them that I was very sorry in the way that I was with them. And my children were damn shocked. It was during dinner time, and I think they couldn't eat, They just so shocked that I said sorry to them.
She said sorry for being so prideful. And I'll try to change. I mean, she does say I'll try to change quite a lot, but I could really feel that it was real because she was being specific, about the prideful thing. Like actually, before that, me and my mom never recognized that being prideful was the problem. Until she said that, then I realized that, oh, she's actually thinking about it. She actually recognizes the problem. Only until like recent years, when I asked her like, back then, what do you do? I didn't know that she cries in her own time. I realized that last time I only think about myself and what I was feeling. I mean, I was a child, but still not fair to my mom.
I think I know sometimes that she secretly cries because I stay in the same room. Then sometimes you're all damn rude to her. I know confirm she will cry. Just that I want to give her own space.
I think in terms of my dad's death, I never really cried. I think the first time that I actually like properly cried was when I felt a lot of injustice from my mom. Because her raising us, coming into being a single parent, she faced like a lot of backlash and a lot of mean things were said to her. I don't remember exactly when, but I know I didn't cry in front of my mom. I just cried alone.
I'm really not a strong person at all. It seems to be the way to a lot of people outside, but I am not. And I feel that to be vulnerable and to be weak and to show yourself and just to be real with my children was the saving grace for us. I still struggle as a solo parent because now they're very independent, 20, 17, 14. Especially when I look at my friends and their kids have all grown up or the same age as them, and then they have their spouse with them to take long walks. I find myself always guilt-tripping them. Like, hey, I'm alone, no? Spend time with me, that kind of thing. Then that, somehow in my process of guilt-tripping them, I also can end up pushing them away rather because they will feel like, wow, you're so needy, that kind. I wouldn't say that it's wrong to be needy. I think everybody has their needs. But I feel sorry for the way that I react to them when I feel needy.
I do understand that my mom sometimes obviously will feel lonely or she doesn't have a spouse. But I don't do it out of responsibility. I genuinely want to go on a
But only if mom asks you.
She'll go when like there's a yogurt place or there's an ice cream place, then then it like incentivizes her to go with us. Yeah.
How would you want to assure her that like you guys you'll be there?
If we are rude to you, we are still here for you and you're good enough and don't compare yourself to other people.
Thanks for watching our videos. If you enjoy watching this, you can hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and also watch the other videos here.